Hello students, let us come to the topic palatine tonsil. Palatine tonsils are commonly known as tonsils and occasionally called phaseal tonsils because these are located in fauces. Fauces means an arched opening at the back of mouth leading to the pharynx. So this arched area between two arches there is location of the tonsil, so that is why as it lies close to the palatal arches, it is known as palatine tonsil or phaseal tonsil. Fauces is an arched opening at the back of mouth leading into the pharynx. Tonsils are a pair of soft tissue masses located at the back of the throat. Each tonsil is composed of tissue similar to lymph nodes that is covered by pink mucosa. So as it is having lymphatic tissue within it, so it is a part of defense system of body. Palatine tonsil occupies the tonsillar fossa or sinus that is present between two arches, anteriorly palatoglossal arch and posteriorly palatopharyngeal arch. So the space between two arches is known as tonsillar fossa, in which lies the palatine tonsil. These can be seen through the mouth. It is also a part of Waldeyer's lymphatic ring, in which palatine tonsils are located in this area. Shape of the tonsil. Tonsil is almond shaped. It has two surfaces, medial surface and lateral surface. Two poles, superior pole or upper pole and inferior pole or lower pole. And two borders. One is anterior border, which is the anterior boundary of the tonsil, and one is the posterior border, which is facing towards the palatopharyngeal arch, and anterior border is facing towards the palatoglossal arch. Medial surface has 12 to 15 crypts. Crypt means a small tubular gland, pit or recess. The largest of these crypts is known as intratonsillar cleft. So it is the largest cleft of the gland. Medial surface is covered by stratified squamous type of epithelium, and the epithelium of the tonsil, it is continuous with the epithelium of the buccal cavity. Lateral surface is covered by a fascia, that is the modification of deep fascia. It is seen in this green color. This is known as hemicapsule of tonsil. So hemicapsule or this modified deep fascia, it is the part of the pharyngobasilar fascia, or it is the extension of this pharyngobasilar fascia. This hemicapsule towards the posterior aspect of tonsil, that is towards the pharynx, it is loosely attached to the tonsil, and towards the anterior aspect of the tonsil, it is tightly attached to the lateral side of tongue with the help of a suspensory ligament of tonsil. So this ligament is present between the tonsil and the tongue just before the insertion of palatoglossal muscle, or we can say palatoglossal arch. This firm attachment keeps the tonsil in place during swallowing. Anterior border of the tonsil is related to palatoglossal arch and the palatoglossal muscle. Posterior border is related to palatopharyngeal arch and palatopharyngeus muscle. Upper pole is related to soft palate and lower pole is related to tongue. Plica semilunaris is a triangular fold of mucous membrane covering the antero-inferior aspect of the tonsil. Plica semilunaris is a fold of mucous membrane present between the two arches, palatoglossal and palatopharyngeal arch, in the supratonsillar fossa or in the upper part of the tonsillar fossa. Intratonsillar crypt or cleft is the largest crypt of the tonsil. It is present in its upper part. Mouth of the crypt is semilunar in shape and it runs parallel to the dorsum of the tongue. It represents the internal opening of the second pharyngeal pouch. A peritonsillar abscess or quinsy begins in this cleft. Quinsy means pus formation in the tonsil. Bed of the tonsil. Tonsillar bed is formed by structures which lies deep to the tonsil. So first of all, first layer is formed by pharyngobasilar fascia, this green color layer, pharyngobasilar fascia. Then comes the superior constrictor muscle, which is larger muscle, and the palatopharyngeus muscle. Next is buccopharyngeal fascia, then lateral means outermost layer, which is shown here, green color layer, buccopharyngeal fascia. In the lower part, styloglossus muscle is there and glossopharyngeal nerve is present close to this muscle, and more laterally lies the facial artery. So these are the structures which forms the tonsillar bed from medial to lateral side. Blood supply of the tonsil. The main source of blood supply to the tonsil is the facial artery. Facial artery gives the branch that is tonsillar artery. This tonsillar artery pierces the superior constrictor muscle and then enters into the tonsil. Other arteries which supplies the tonsil is ascending palatine branch of the facial artery. It gives a branch that is tonsillar artery to the tonsil. Another artery is the lingual artery, which gives one branch, that is dorsal lingual branch for the tonsil. Ascending pharyngeal artery, which is arising from external carotid artery. It gives one branch for the supply of the tonsil. Greater palatine branch is given by maxillary artery for its supply. So tonsil is having rich blood supply through these arteries. Venous drainage. Paratonsillar vein receives the venous blood from the tonsil and drains it into the pharyngeal plexus of veins, into the palatine vein or the facial veins. Pharyngeal plexus of veins ultimately drain into internal jugular vein. Lymphatic drainage of tonsil. Lymph of the tonsil is drained by a jugulo-digastric group of lymph nodes present near the posterior barrier of digastric muscle and the internal jugular vein. So here lies the jugulo-digastric lymph nodes. Nerve supply of the tonsil. Nerve supply to the tonsil is derived from glossopharyngeal nerve and lesser palatine nerves, which are the branches of maxillary nerve. Applied anatomy related to tonsils. Inflammation of tonsils is known as tonsillitis. It is characterized by redness and enlargement of the tonsils, fever, pain in throat, painful swallowing, and enlarged lymph nodes around the neck area. So one should have knowledge about the normal size of the tonsils. This is normal size of tonsils. These are visible in the form of small swellings, but in case of tonsillitis, these become enlarged in size. In severe conditions of tonsillitis, the size of tonsils may this much get enlarged. Enlarged tonsils may cause rapid pain in the ear as glossopharyngeal nerve supplies ear as well as tonsils. In children, under normal conditions, the size of tonsils it is larger and it retrogresses automatically after puberty, means these tonsils may get their normal size after the attainment of puberty. Tonsils are frequent site of infection, especially in children. Infection may spread to the surrounding tissue and the condition is known as peritonsillar abscess. Peritonsillar abscess means collection of the pus within the tonsil as well as into the tissue of neck and chest. The symptoms of peritonsillar abscess are severe throat pain, difficulty in swallowing, fever, etc. And the swollen tissue may also can block the airway. So this whitish appearance of the tissue, this is the collection of pus within the tonsils. Pus in the tonsil is visible in the form of these small white spots or septic foci, which indicates the exudation of pus through the crypts of tonsil. So such focus leads to serious diseases like pulmonary tuberculosis, meningitis, etc. and are often the cause of general ill health. So children with recurrent attacks of tonsillitis remain ill most of the time with recurrent attacks of sore throat, fever, cough, etc.